Welcome to Wrestling News and Opinions coverage of Elimination Chamber on the WWE Network. And on the pre-show, we had Stardust vs. Zack Ryder. This is taking place May 31st, 2015 from the American Bank Center in Corpus Christi, Texas. And so on the pre-show, Stardust vs. Zack Ryder. And they were mixing it up pretty good. You know, the action spilled to the outside. I thought it was a pretty good match, and both of them had control at different points. I thought, especially for a pre-show match, this is a pretty good one, and definitely a welcome match, and it was entertaining. And what ended up happening was that Zack Ryder hit Stardust with a broski boot, and then when he was going for the Rough Rider, Stardust was able to counter, and he ended up hitting him with the Crossroads, but now he's calling it the Queen's Crossbow. At least that's according to JBL. As he was saying, that's the new name for the move, and I can only imagine that has to be because of Arrow, because he's got that feud going with Steve Amell, and of course Arrow, his real name is Oliver Queen, so is some kind of like rib at the Arrow. Stardust is now calling the Crossroads the Queen Crossbow, so Stardust gets the win with the pin after hitting the Queen's Crossbow, as that's the new name for the Crossroads, as Michael Cole and Lawler pointed out. So that was the match on the pre-show, and let me know what you thought about this match. I thought it was pretty good, actually. I think actually Cody Rhodes is a good in-ring performer. Zack Ryder too. It was good to see him, you know, even though he did end up losing, but you know, we saw him on Raw against Cena. Now we see him on the pre-show, so at least he's getting some, you know, exposure. Although it would have been nice to see Zack Ryder win the match, but Stardust, he's got this thing going with Arrow, so actually they were kind of teasing that we might see a match Stardust versus Arrow at SummerSlam. At least that's what it sounded like from what they were saying, but we shall see. As you know, you never know what's going to happen in the WWE, but let me know what you think about that possibility moving forward and what you thought about this match on the pre-show. And on the pre-show, the second thing we had was Miz TV with Daniel Bryan. So the Miz came out there, and he looked like a total douchebag. Daniel Bryan came out there, he talked to him. Miz was really annoying. I cannot stand the Miz. He looked stupid, and he actually was totally copying off of Colt Cabana in a video he did on YouTube. I think it's inside, like, behind, you know, inside the wrestler's studio. It's just kind of like a takeoff of inside the actor's studio. I'll actually leave a link to that video so you can watch that and see that the Miz like totally took the look from that video of Colt Cabana acting like a douchebag from Hollywood. And so then I guess the, you know, imitation is the greatest form of flattery, so I guess Colt should be flattered that the Miz totally ripped him off for this segment. So anyway, they were talking, and you know, the Miz it didn't even make sense too, because the Miz was like promoting Daniel Bryan's book, but then he was like taking digs at him and being real annoying. And eventually Daniel Bryan was just like, you know what, I can't stand you. And the Miz was like, oh, well, you can't hit me, I can't hit you because of doctor's orders. And so then Daniel Bryan's like, well, good thing they're here. And then out came the Macho Man Dow and Axelmania. And actually, I was glad to see them come out. It was good just to see them on, you know, the event, on the pay-per-view, even though it's not a pay-per-view technically. It's just, you know, but it's basically a pay-per-view. You know what I'm saying, Elimination Chamber. So anyway, it was cool seeing them come out. I actually like Macho Man Dow and Axelmania. I think they're pretty awesome. I want to see them actually start getting involved in the tag team picture, although there's a ton of tag teams right now. But anyway, they came down there and they took care of the Miz. They ended up, you know, hitting him with a couple moves, including the big leg drop from Axelmania. And so it was good to see him beat up on Miz. I can't stand Miz, so I was glad that they beat him up. And so then they ended up, you know, posing afterwards, and they were doing the Hulk Hogan poses, like the hand to the ear, and they were doing that and getting a good pop, you know, from the crowd. So I thought it was pretty good overall, though. I mean, it was like, I can't stand Miz, and I really was like, ugh, how much of this can I take? But the segment was saved by Macho Man Dow and Axelmania, in my opinion. And then we got to see them beat up on Miz. Miz is so annoying. Oh, I can't stand him. But I mean, I guess that's what he's supposed to be, right? But let me know what you think in the comment section below, what you think about this segment. And which I think actually they're probably going to build this towards, it looks like they're kind of like setting up for Daniel Bryan to feud with The Miz. Is Daniel Bryan, that is one thing he was saying, that he's not done, he's not retired, he is going to be back, which I do actually think he might be back sooner than expected. But we'll keep you updated on that. And as I said, let me know, though, what you thought about this segment in the comment section below. And to start off the event, the official show, we had the 6-man Elimination Chamber Tag Team Championship match, the first of its kind. And so we started off with the Lucha Dragons and the Ascensions in the ring as the other 4 teams were locked in pods. So then Kalisto, he ended up getting stuck on top of one of the pods. This New Day ended up holding him from the inside as his leg was caught. And Tyson Kidd and Cesaro were the 3rd team to enter this match, the first team out of the pod. And Cesaro ended up doing a pretty impressive uppercut to Kalisto, who was still stuck on top of the pod. Cesaro then did a super duper plex off the top of the pod to Kalisto. It was pretty crazy. Kidd and Cesaro were just beating the crap out of the Lucha Dragons. Now they turned their attention to the Ascension. Victor was beating on Kidd while Cesaro was taking care of Connor and then saved Kidd. The Los Matadors, they were the 4th team to enter the match, the 2nd team out of the pod. El Torito was with them. Kalisto then climbed to the top of the cage upside down, and he ended up dropping down from the top of the cage onto everyone below. El Torito ended up doing the same thing moments later as he climbed up to the top of the cage, but he got caught by the Ascension. So the Ascension would end up getting the first pinfall on Los Matadors. So they tossed El Torito into him, and so Los Matadors was eliminated before all 6 teams had even entered this match, as New Day and the Primetime Players were still locked in their pods. So in the Ascension, right after eliminating Los Matadors, they ended up eliminating the Lucha Dragons shortly thereafter by way of the Fall of Man. And so then it was just the Brass Ring Club and the Ascension in the ring, as the Primetime Players and the New Day were still locked in those pods. The Primetime Players were the next team to come out, so they're the 5th team in the match, the 3rd team released, and so the only team still locked in a cage, well, in a pod, was the New Day. So the New Day ended up getting the good drawing in their favor as they're the champions. And so now you had the 3 teams going at it in the ring. Cesaro was going for a gut wrench off the top rope on Darren Young, and Titus O'Neil ended up coming over and he powerbombed Cesaro as he was gut wrench suplexing Young. It was crazy. It was an awesome spot. So then the New Day finally got in the match as they were the last team to be released, and now both teams, the Primetime Players and Kidd and Cesaro, ended up teaming up on the New Day, and they suplexed all 3 New Day members at the same time. Cesaro and Kidd then locked Xavier Woods back into the pod. Darren Young then eliminated Kidd and Cesaro by rolling up Cesaro after they did the big swing and to the drop kick to, I think it was Kofi Kingston. So then the New Day and Primetime Players were the only teams left in the match. The New Day then put Titus O'Neil's head into the chain link fence. Well, it's not even chain link fence. It's just that the links of chains that make up the fence, as they trapped his head into that structure that is the Elimination Chamber. But then Darren Young ended up sending Big E into the pod face first, as he ended up getting out of the way as Big E was charging at him. Titus ended up getting loose and he was tearing it up, just beating on everybody. Darren Young then hit Kofi with those knees, and it looked like the Primetime Players were about to win, but Kofi kicked out. Big E then ended up overhead belly to suplexing Darren Young onto the Elimination Chamber's unforgiving surface, and then he went in the ring after Titus power slammed Big E, and then Langston ended up kicking out. Woods then came off the top rope at O'Neil. He caught him in midair, but then Big E took Titus O'Neil's knee out, and then Kofi hit him with the Trouble in Paradise, and then all 3 men covered O'Neil, and it was 1, 2, 3. The New Day wins. So New Day retains their WWE Tag Team Championships at Elimination Chamber in the first ever Elimination Chamber Tag Team Championship match. And it was crazy. There was a lot of big, huge, high spots. It was nuts. It was insane. I was hoping Kidd and Cesaro would end up with the belts, but it was a good match. I liked it. I enjoyed it. And New Day, I mean, if Kidd and Cesaro aren't going to get it, then I'm kind of glad New Day kept it. Although, like I said, I wish Kidd and Cesaro got the match. I kind of thought it was whack the way they got eliminated. Like, they just did their big move, and then just, Young comes up and rolls up Cesaro and eliminates him. That's what I think anyway, but overall I would say it was a good match. It was entertaining, it lived up to the hype. They had some crazy stuff there with Kalisto and El Torito even, climbing up on top of the cage, and then the super duper plex and that gut wrench suplex, the power bomb is crazy. So it was a pretty cool match overall. I enjoyed it, like I said. Let me know what you thought about it in the comment section below. Definitely interested to read your opinions. Did you enjoy the match? Did you think it was a good thing that New Day won? Were you going for Kid and Cesaro like me? Maybe you were going for the Primetime Players or Ascension or Los Matadors or maybe the Lucha Dragons. Either way, let me know in the comment section. Definitely interested to read your thoughts and opinions. In the second match of the night, we had the Divas Championship match, a triple threat match, as the Divas champion Nikki Bella defended her Divas Championship against Paige and Naomi. And so this match, it was a piece of crap. This match sucked. The match itself was alright in terms of, Paige was, looking pretty good in the match. Naomi was alright until she, botched that spot at the end of the match. But Nikki, she's the champion, and all she did was lay on her back. She was outside the ring for most of the match, then she was just, laying in the ring. She barely did anything, and then somehow she gets the win. How does that make, any sense? She sucks, she's garbage, she's, not a wrestler. And it even showed in this match that she just was, not even in the match. She's just, outside the ring laying down, and in the mat laying down, and then just in the end, after Naomi botches a spot on Paige, then friggin' Nikki comes in and just hits her with the rack attack, and then 1, 2, 3, Nikki wins in a piece of crap match that totally sucked. When Paige should be the champion. Paige deserves to be the champion. She showed in this match she's the best wrestler. She was kicking ass in this match. It was awesome what she was doing, but then the other two aren't on her level. Naomi was actually decent. She was doing pretty good, even though then at the end there, like I said, that botch spot where she was on top of Paige, and then she went for a Hurricane Rana or something, but it just was totally screwed up. And hopefully Paige didn't get injured from that botch spot. And then just Nikki wins for why? It's stupid. But whatever. Let me know what you think. If you think I'm wrong, if you actually like this match and are oh yeah, Nikki, a wheel a champ that lays on her back and then just comes in the end and steals the victory. So is she a heel? What's the deal? It was just crap. So I actually had high hopes for the match, thinking Paige finally gets the belt back. And the belt goes where it belongs, because I actually think the belt means something, but apparently the belt means nothing because it's on someone who can't even wrestle, and prove that even further tonight. But let me know what you think in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this match for some weird reason, if you actually were happy that Nikki won, or if you feel the way I did, that the match sucked and it was stupid, and why the hell is Nikki still carrying around the belt? She's been having it way too long. You do not sit there and just leave a belt on someone for months on end who can't even wrestle. What? Oh my god. Did they learn nothing from David Arquette? This is so ridiculous. It's I guess the Divas, they don't even call them, see, this thing is in NXT, at least they respect them enough to call them women, but in the main roster, they're divas because they're not wrestlers. They're divas. They're not even, they're what is a diva? Go look it up. But anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Definitely interested to read your thoughts and opinions. We had a champion versus champion match as Kevin Owens faced John Cena, and what an incredible match this was. It was spectacular. A credit to both men in the ring as they put on an incredible performance. But let's go to the breakdown. Kevin Owens was in control early on, taking the fight to John Cena. Cena would go for an AA, but Owens reversed it into a DDT. Owens was then punching Cena for a bit, and then the two started trading punches and forearms. Cena then hit the ropes and landed a couple of shoulder blocks, but Owens caught him, and he landed the go-home driver. A scoop lift spun out into an over-the-shoulder belly to back, or back to belly pile driver. Cena kicked out at 2.5. Owens then hit Cena with a corner cannonball. The two men then started trading punches again. Owens Irish whipped Cena, and then he went for the pop-up powerbomb, but Cena escaped, and he hit the ropes, bouncing off and hitting Owens with a pair of shoulder blocks, and then a belly-to-back pump handle slam, followed by the 5-knuckle shuffle. But then when Cena went for the AA again, Owens reversed it again, and he hit Cena with the pop-up powerbomb this time, landing it square in the small of the back of Cena. Cena kicked out at 2.5. Owens then went to the top rope, but Cena ran to the corner and stunned the NXT champion for a moment. Cena then climbed the ropes, and the two traded punches again, but Owens pushed Cena to the mat, and then he went for a moonsault, but he missed. Cena then hit Owens with the AA, and this time Owens kicked out at 2.5. So he finally got the AA, but Owens kicks out. Now, once again, the two men started trading punches and forearms. Owens then super kicked Cena. Owens then went for the 5-knuckle shuffle, but Cena reversed it into the STF. Owens was close to the ropes, and Cena went to reposition him by pulling him to the center of the ring, but Owens kicked Cena and then rose to his feet, and he nailed John Cena with his own move, the AA. That's right, Kevin Owens hit Cena with the AA, and then while he was doing it, he actually did the "you can't see me" taunt as he waved his hand in front of his face. Of course, when Owens did it, he did it like the opposite side, as Cena usually drops him on the left, but Owens dropped him on the right. Cena kicked out though at 2.5 from his own move. Cena then would catch Kevin Owens charging at him in the corner with a kick, and then he landed a tornado DDT on Kevin Owens. Owens kicked out at 2.5. Cena then went up to the top rope, and he hit Kevin Owens with a top rope leg drop, but Owens kicked out at 2.5. Cena then went for the AA again, but Owens reversed it, this time into a package pump handle powerbomb. John Cena then kicked out at 2.5. Owens then started beating on Cena, telling him to stay down, but Cena rose up to his feet, and he started to trade more punches with Owens, and then he hit the springboard stunner, and he went for the pin, and it was 1-2, but Owens kicks out at 2.5. Cena then had Owens on the top rope, and it looked like he might try a superplex, but Owens reversed it into the FC, or in this case, the F Cena, which is a fireman's carry facebuster off the top rope. Cena then kicked out at 2.5. Owens then went up top, and he hit Cena with a swanton bomb, but Cena kicked out at 2.5. Cena then hit Owens with a running clothesline, and then he hit him with another running clothesline, this time sending Kevin Owens head over heels. Then Cena went and hit the ropes a third time, looking for another running clothesline, but KO caught him. He lifted him up in the air, and he hit him with a pop-up powerbomb, and it was 1, 2, 3. Kevin Owens wins. Kevin Owens wins. He beats John Cena in his first WWE match ever. Oh my goodness, what an incredible match. This was insane. I put up my initial reaction already. You can check that out. But this was the full match breakdown, and this match was just spectacular. It was amazing. It was awesome. Just, oh my goodness, it was a pleasure to watch. It was one of the best matches that I've seen in a long time. Kevin Owens is a spectacular wrestler. He showed right here in this match why he's one of the best. John Cena as well. John Cena does not suck. I'll tell you what, if you watch this match and you still are saying John Cena sucks, you are crazy, because this was an amazing, awesome match, and both of these guys are spectacular. And Kevin Owens, I'll tell you what, man, you've seen him just pulling out all kinds of crazy maneuvers, but guess what? That's just scratching the surface. He's got plenty of more crazy stuff to come. He's just getting started. He's been at a long time, but he's just getting started in terms of showing the whole world how awesome he is, because he is an amazing performer. He's got a whole big huge bag of tricks, a big bag of moves that he can pull out. As you saw, a bunch of moves that he's not shown on NXT, as he pulled it out here at Elimination Chamber. Is these are moves he's been doing, you know, on the indie scene for a long time. Like I say, he got a lot of more moves than this, and he pulled out a lot of crazy cool moves that even the announcers, they didn't even know what the moves were. They didn't even know what to call them, even though, sad to say, Michael Cole has just been so lazy. I love Lawler. He's awesome always, no matter what. JBL's alright, but Cole just lazy, man. I mean, you listen to New Japan, and Ronaldo knows every single move, tells you everything that's going on. But Michael Cole is just like, I don't even know what these moves are. What's going on? It's like, could you maybe tell us what's happening? Could you call the action in the ring, especially when it's this awesome? Imagine JR calling this match. Go home, driver! Go home, driver! Oh my goodness! He just hit the F Cena! Holy cow! I mean, it would have been awesome hearing JR call this match, definitely. And it'd be good if maybe Michael Cole would do his job and not just be so complacent, but it was an awesome match regardless. Even lazy commentary couldn't ruin the amazing in-ring action. It was just something. It was a sight to behold, I'll tell you. It was just so awesome. So many sweet spots. Such a great match. Just the whole thing, start to finish, was just incredible. Definitely worth watching and rewatching. I would recommend, if you saw it already, even go back and watch it again. If you haven't seen it, what are you waiting for? You should have already seen this match. It was incredible. Oh my god, I loved it. It was just such a great match. And they're going to have the rematch at Money in the Bank. That's going to be pretty sweet. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. This match right here was definitely a classic. I'll tell you, it was like shades of Big Van Vader right there. The way he was flying around, the moonsault, the swanton, everything. Oh man, it was awesome. And then we did the FC off the rope. That was crazy. The go home driver, I mean, he's got so many moves. He's in the super kick, doing everything. And Cena's pulling out all the stops, doing everything. Springboard stunner, the AA, 5-note shuffle. I mean, it was just so awesome. This was just such a great match. Even he did the SCF. I mean, it was just awesome. It was such a great match between two awesome wrestlers. And I'll tell you, neither one of them sucks. They're both awesome. This was just such a great match, and it really made the Elimination Chamber. I mean, it definitely was the highlight of the night. And then actually, I thought overall it was, pretty decent. But yeah, this match was so good. So let me know what you thought in the comment section below. What you thought about the match. I thought it was awesome. And maybe you're upset that Cena lost. But really, you gotta know, Cena, he really, right here, this is like him doing a favor to wrestling. It's him giving back. And that it shows you, see, Cena, he loves wrestling. He's carried it through. He's been on top for a long time, and he's still got plenty left to give, even though, that might just be in a smaller capacity. I enjoy seeing Cena with the U.S. title, seeing him every week on Raw, working with the younger talent. I think it's awesome. I thought this was awesome. I mean, it was so incredible. It was just such a great match. And both of them really are winners in my book. And after the match, Owens said, "Oh, my time is now," and his time is now. And I mean, Cena's had a long run, and like I said, I mean, Cena's still an excellent performer. He's still one of the best, no doubt about that. He can still perform on a high level. But just Kevin Owens, man, it's his turn. That's the thing. It's like, it was definitely good to see him get this victory. And, applaud Cena that he actually, would take on this match and do this, So I thought it was pretty cool. Let me know what you think in the comments section below. Definitely interested to read your thoughts and opinions. And we had some singles action between Bo Dallas and Neville. And I thought this was a pretty good match right here, as Bo Dallas is definitely, a very talented wrestler. Neville is an amazing high flyer. And they were mixing it up. They gave him a decent amount of time. We saw, Neville take a pretty bad spill to the outside. That allowed Bo Dallas to have control. Of course, Neville would end up getting him with a standing shooting star press. That was pretty impressive. Bo Dallas kicked out of that. Bo Dallas then got him with a nice DDT. Neville kicked out of that. Bo Dallas went for the running bulldozer, the running bulldog, and then Neville caught him with an enziguri, and then Neville went to the top and he hit the red arrow, and it was 1, 2, 3. Neville wins. So Neville with an impressive win over Bo Dallas, and I imagine that this feud will continue, although it could be the end with Neville rising to the level and beating Bo Dallas, as that was like what Bo Dallas was trying to bring the best out of him, is what he was saying. And that's kind of similar to what his brother Bray Wyatt does, although we did not see the Wyatt family show up as had been rumored, and that shows you sometimes those rumors, you can't trust them. That's why they're rumors and they're not facts. So there it is right there. Neville with the win over Bo Dallas. I said I thought it was a pretty good match. I like both of these competitors. I think they're really good in the ring, and I enjoyed this match. I thought it was pretty good. Let me know, though, what you thought about it in the comment section below. Did you enjoy this match as much as I did? Or maybe you didn't. Maybe you were going for Bo Dallas. Like I said, I like Bo Dallas. I know a lot of people don't, but I like Neville just as much. It's tough for me to actually pick between the two, although Neville is definitely an amazing, athletic competitor who does some crazy stuff that just is awesome to watch every time he steps in the ring. So definitely it was cool to see Neville come out with the victory. But let me know what you think in the comments section below. Definitely interested to read your thoughts and opinions. And the WWE Intercontinental Championship was on the line in an Elimination Chamber match. And what a match this was, as we had King Barrett, Dolph Ziggler, Ryback, R-Truth, Sheamus, and then the sixth competitor replacing Rusev, Mark Henry. So the world's strongest man replaced Rusev in this match, and so it went underway, and King Barrett and Dolph Ziggler started the match off. Barrett was beating up on Ziggler pretty good early on. R-Truth was the first to come out of a pod, the third man to enter the match. So R-Truth got in there. He kind of evened things up a little bit as he actually was going at it with Barrett, and so Ziggler got a little bit of a breather. And then Mark Henry ended up entering the match, though, as Barrett put Dolph Ziggler through Mark Henry's pod. So Dolph Ziggler inadvertently opens up Mark Henry's pod, and so now Mark Henry was just kind of interjected into the match, although the timer had not been counted down and his pod didn't officially open. So he's just in the match now. So then Ryback was the second official pod to open, but he was actually the fifth guy to enter the match. And Michael Cole had said earlier on in the match how the fifth position was actually the position that had won the most, although New Day, by winning from the sixth position, tied the fifth position, as those both had 5 winners. So 5 winners from the fifth and 5 winners from the sixth, although is Ryback the fifth or the fourth entrant officially, being that Mark Henry came into the match just from the pod breaking open. But anyway, alright, so at this point, R-Truth ended up eliminating King Barrett when he hit him with the lie detector. And so now you had Mark Henry and R-Truth and Ryback and Dolph Ziggler in the ring. Mark Henry and R-Truth ended up locking up, and Ryback and Ziggler ended up fighting. So those 4 were going at it, and then Sheamus's pod would not open. So Sheamus was supposed to enter the match, but his pod wouldn't open, surprisingly. But I'll tell you what, I knew right then when his pod wouldn't open, I'm like, Sheamus somehow, he rigged it to where his pod wouldn't open. And that is what it ended up being, is we would end up seeing a few moments later that Sheamus had actually put his Celtic cross in the way, in the hinge, so that the door wouldn't open, at least it would appear that way. Although he was sitting there pretending with the referee like he was struggling to get the door open, but he was just doing it to buy some time because Sheamus is a cheater. So his pod went open. Ryback ended up eliminating R-Truth via the shell shock, and Ryback ended up doing his best Cesaro impersonation. He said, anything Cesaro can do, I can do better, as he lifted up Dolph Ziggler above his head in the vertical suplex position straight high in the sky for what seemed like a lifetime. I mean, he had him out there. I didn't count, but man, it seemed like it was like 30 seconds or really like a minute or something, like a minute, literally. I was like, oh my goodness, he's just holding him up there forever. As Ryback has quite the impressive strength, as he is a beast. So Ryback, he was looking pretty impressive. During the whole match, he was very impressive, and Ryback was looking for the meat hook on Dolph Ziggler, but he ended up getting caught with the super kick. And then Sheamus finally opened the pod. As I said, you saw that the Celtic cross was there in the hinge. He ended up taking the cross out the hinge, opening the door. So now Sheamus came in. He ended up smashing Dolph Ziggler into his pod, and then he ended up sending Ryback over the top rope onto the steel chamber surface. So Ryback, he was taking some tough bumps in this match for sure. Sheamus is a bully, I'll tell you what. He's such a bully that he actually was trying to bully the world's strongest man. That's right, he was trying to bully Mark Henry. Can you believe this? It's like, geez, the freaking gall on Sheamus. He is one crazy son of a gun. So he's sitting there trying to bully Mark Henry. Mark Henry then went for the world's strongest slam, but Sheamus got out of it, and then Henry ended up hitting him with kind of like a double axe handle, and then he did a big, huge body splash, the world's biggest body splash, but Sheamus somehow kicked out of that, and then he ended up catching Mark Henry with the pro kick, and it was 1, 2, 3, world's strongest man was eliminated as he got bullied by Sheamus. And Sheamus now, after coming in this match late, was just taking people out, as Sheamus then ended up going after Ryback, and he smashed Ryback's face into the steel chain outside of the chamber, and then he went after Dolph Ziggler. So he was going after Dolph Ziggler, beating the crap out of him for a little while. Dolph Ziggler did turn things around for a moment as he hit Sheamus with a vicious DDT after Sheamus went shoulder first into the ring post in the corner. But Sheamus ended up kicking out of that crazy DDT that Dolph Ziggler does, where he jumps way up high in the sky. It's like a jumping DDT. It's nuts. So then Ryback ended up coming in and actually attacking Ziggler, but he got super kicked by Dolph Ziggler. Then Sheamus, he went for a bro kick. He missed it. Ziggler then hit Sheamus with the Famouser. Sheamus went down to one knee, but he didn't even go down on the mat. He didn't get pinned. Sheamus bro kicked Dolph Ziggler, and 1, 2, 3, Sheamus eliminates Dolph Ziggler. So Dolph Ziggler was eliminated from this match. So I says Sheamus just comes in and starts eliminating people. So now it was just the two men, Sheamus and Ryback, and one of them would be the Intercontinental Champion. We saw, Daniel Bryan had been out watching the match the entire time, sitting next to his Intercontinental Championship belt that he had vacated to set up this match. So they were mixing it up in the ring, these two big brutes, Sheamus and Ryback, just trading back blows back and forth. And then Sheamus ended up going to the pod trying to get his Celtic Cross pendant. Who knows what he was going to try to do that. Was he going to stab Ryback or something? But Ryback came up behind him. Sheamus then delivered white noise to Ryback on the steel grate. Oh my God, what a bump that was. That was insane. Ryback, I'll tell you what, he really took some punishment in this match. Then moments later, Sheamus did an insane rolling senton to Ryback. Like, oh my God, he put Ryback all his weight. It was just a crazy movie, and the whole thing, it was insane. Like, Sheamus could have broke his neck doing this move, and Ryback just went boom. I was like, oh my God, like, if you really have ever done any kind of sports or any kind of wrestling at all, that was a crazy bump. Ryback is one tough son of a bitch, and he took that rolling senton from Sheamus, and now Sheamus was set up for the bro kick, but Ryback ducked it. He picked up Sheamus into the powerbomb position. He slammed Sheamus into the steel chain of the outside of the chamber, and then he powerbombed him into the ring, and then Ryback picks him up, and he shell-shocks Sheamus, and 1, 2, 3, the big guy wins! The big guy wins! Ryback wins his first title at WWE, the Intercontinental Championship at Elimination Chamber, as history is made yet again during this evening. So Ryback with a big win, an impressive win, a big win, as I said, for the big guy. Daniel Bryan ended up coming in the ring, and Daniel Bryan said, I think you earned this. He said, you guys think he earns it? Everybody was going crazy for Ryback. It was nuts. He definitely did earn it. I'll tell you what, if you saw this match, you definitely have to believe that Ryback deserves to be the Intercontinental Champion for sure. I mean, this guy put on a hell of a match, and he took one hell of a beating from Sheamus, and he put out one hell of a beating on Sheamus as he ended up getting the win. It was crazy. It was awesome. This is a match I would definitely watch again and again. It definitely lived up to all expectations. And I'll tell you what, it lived up to the fact it was an Elimination Chamber match. Like, even in what people call the PG era, this match was awesome. Might not have been, like, all bloody or whatever, but it was crazy with some insane bumps. It did look like Dolph Ziggler was bleeding under his nose. I don't know if maybe he's been listening to too much Talkin' Shop, but, or maybe it was just the orange hair dye from Sheamus. I think that's actually what it was. It was Sheamus' orange hair dye that ended up on, you know, Dolph Ziggler's, like, upper lip. Maybe he'd been brown-nosing him a little bit, you know? Maybe when he kissed his arse. But anyway, Ryback gets the win. It was pretty awesome. Daniel Bryan, when he gave over the belt to Ryback, and then Ryback said, you know what? Not only are you an inspiration to these people, you're an inspiration to the big guy. And he gave him the belt. I had goosebumps. I got goosebumps. It's crazy, right? It's insane, but I would never have thought that would have happened, but I was like, man, I got goosebumps watching Ryback win this match. That was insane. What a performance. It was awesome. Ryback wins. Let me know, though, what you think in the comments section below. Definitely interested to read your thoughts and opinions. What do you think about this match? I thought it was awesome. I thought it was amazing. But let me know what you think. Do you think it was awesome that Ryback won, or maybe you wanted somebody else to win? Let me know either way. Definitely interested to read your thoughts and opinions. In the main event of the evening, we had the WWE World Heavyweight title on the line as Seth Rollins was defending it against Dean Ambrose, the lame-a-tick fringe. As Dean Ambrose sucks. He is so lame. And this match almost totally sucked, except thank God Dean Ambrose isn't the champion. The match, you know, it went on for like forever. Seth Rollins was actually whooping Dean Ambrose's ass for most of the match. And so anyway, the way it ended up turning out, Dean Ambrose attacked the referee. Somehow that gets Seth Rollins disqualified. But what ended up happening is that once Dean Ambrose attacked the referee, then he ended up hitting dirty deeds on Seth Rollins, and then another referee came out, and then he was like, 1, 2, 3, he did a quick count, and cheated, as Dean Ambrose cheated to try to win, first by hitting one referee, taking him out, having a referee that was on his side come out and do a quick count. Dean Ambrose was doing heel stuff, and really, Seth Rollins, he's the real babyface, not Dean Ambrose, that lame, fake, whack-ass dude. He sucks, he's fake, he ain't a lunatic, he's a lame-a-tick. He's the worst dude, he's the fakest dude. I can't believe I ever even liked him for 2 seconds. As soon as they contradicted his character and showed how fake he was, the whole veil was lifted, and then you see that every single thing Dean Ambrose does is just so lame and so fake, and he totally sucks. He's like I could beat his ass. That's the thing. The WWE champion shouldn't be someone who I legitimately could kick their ass. Alright? It should be someone who I'd be like, oh, there's no way I'd ever kick his ass. Freaking like, I could never beat Brock Lesnar's ass, but I'll whip the shit out of Dean Ambrose on any fucking given day of the week easily. I've beaten dudes' asses that look like Dean Ambrose before. He is a punk bitch. So anyway, after he cheated to try to take the belt, and everybody's like, yeah, Dean Ambrose, he's a lame-a-tick. So then, thankfully, thank God, they actually decided to DQ Dean Ambrose, or DQ Seth Rollins, even though it should have been a disqualification against Dean Ambrose, because he's the one who cheated, and then had a fake referee come out there and do a fast count on Seth Rollins. But anyway, so then they start beating up on Dean Ambrose. Now finally J&J and Kane got involved. They really didn't do much to help Seth Rollins out during the match. Seth Rollins was whooping the crap out of Dean Ambrose without their help. And he actually went up top and actually went for a high-flying move, although he didn't hit it. But I'll tell you what, if he hits it, then people cheer. And then now he's a face. But anyway, so it ended up turning out Roman Reigns came out there. Roman Reigns ended up super punching Seth Rollins. And they ended up spearing Kane, and then Dean Ambrose tossed Seth Rollins over the top rope, and he's like, oh, yeah, I like to drink beer, because I'm a whack-ass poor man Steve Austin. I like to rip off Steve Austin and pretend I like beer. When really, Ambrose is just a lame, stuck-up, preppy bitch who likes to pretend that he's an anarchist. You ain't an anarchist. Take off that shirt, you lame preppy. He's one of those dudes, he's got his nose shoved up his own ass. He's all like, yeah, I'm better than everybody. I put my nose to the air. I'm Dean Ambrose. I don't give a fuck about anybody. I'm better than everybody. Fuck everybody. Haha, you suckers. You're buying my shirt, you suckers. You're a sucker if you like Dean Ambrose. You're a sucker if you buy his shirt. The dude could give a crap less. He'll spit on you. He wouldn't spit on you if you're on fire. He'd spit on you if you weren't. Freaking he sucks. Dean Ambrose is so lame. He's so fake. He's the fakest dude in all of wrestling. So anyway, and that's what I was going to say the other day. Piper said on his podcast that someone told him, and it was actually, I believe it was Johnny Valentine, Greg the Hammer Valentine's dad, who said, I can't make you believe wrestling's real, but I can damn sure make you believe I'm real. But I'll tell you who's not real, and that's Dean Ambrose. He is fake. He sucks. So anyway, then Dean Ambrose was like, yeah, I'm buying beers. I'm taking your belt. So then he stole Seth Rollins' belt like a heel and took off with the belt. The heel that Dean Ambrose is. He sucks. So friggin', and Seth Rollins 10 times better than Dean Ambrose. I'm not necessarily saying Roman Reigns is actually alright. I would have way rather seen Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins. That would be a good match. Roman Reigns kicks ass. He's awesome. But you got him next to this lame-ass dude, Dean Ambrose, who totally sucks. Dean Ambrose used to have long hair and wear pink tights. He ain't no lunatic. He's a lame-atic. He sucks. But I'll tell you one thing. I'll give it to WWE. I give it to Miz McMahon. They did take me on an emotional ride with this because I was like, oh my God, I can't believe he actually got the belt. I was like, no. And then thankfully, I was like, oh, thank God. I was so relieved when they're like, Seth Rollins still has the belt. I was like, oh my God, thank God they didn't give it to that whack-ass dude, Dean Ambrose, who totally sucks. But anyway, that's what I think. Let me know what you think in the comments section below. I doubt anyone agrees with me. I know everybody loves Dean Ambrose and everybody hates Seth Rollins. But whatever. It's my opinion. It's my channel. So I'm going to tell you what I think. Whether you agree or disagree, I do respect your opinion. And I am actually interested to read your thoughts and opinions. Whether you agree with me or disagree with me. Whether you like Dean Ambrose or not. And whether you like Seth or whether you like Roman or whoever. Whatever. That's cool. Just that's what it's there for. That's what the comment section is there for. To share your opinions. And it's not just, my opinion is in the video, so your opinion, that's in the comment section. So go ahead and feel free to share your opinion either way. Thank you very much for listening. Oh my God! Oh my God! Kevin Owens did it! Kevin Owens beat John Cena at Elimination Chambers. He hit him with the pop-up powerbomb, and he got him 1, 2, 3. Kevin Owens wins. This match was crazy. Kevin Owens was beating the crap out of Cena for a lot of the match. Cena was getting some moves in. Kevin Owens did some crazy stuff. He did the deep sea diverticulitis, the fireman's carry facebuster to John Cena. He came off the top rope with the senton, and Cena hit him with some clotheslines, and Kevin Owens pop-up powerbomb to John Cena, and he gets the pin in the middle of the ring. 1, 2, 3. Kevin Owens wins. This is crazy. I can't believe it. He actually did it. He actually beat John Cena in his first ever WWE pay-per-view match. This is insane. His first match, period. This is the first actual match he's had in WWE on the main roster. It's before he showed up on Raw, but it wasn't a match. He just showed up to powerbomb Cena, and now in his first match ever, first John Cena, and he wins. This is crazy. Kevin Owens wins at Elimination Chambers. Leave your thoughts and opinions in the comments section below. I'm going to bring you a full match breakdown of this later on, so make sure to check that out. This is just so crazy.